Hello, and welcome to another edition of Stock Charts with BlueHorseshoeStock.com. I'm your host, the Stock Sumo, and today I want to talk about the marijuana stock. This has been a favorite sector of ours for years now. We once again started talking about the cannabis sector about a month or so ago when we started to see the volume start to pick back up in the cannabis plays. And I wanted to do a quick video chart presentation and talk about what we've seen over the past month or so and how we see the future playing out. So I've got about 5 different stocks I want to go over today. We got MJNA, PHOT, CBIS, GRNH, and NEWC. And if you look at these charts, you would notice that there's a lot of similarities. You know, we had this big move followed by a consolidation. Not so much in FOAT. This one hasn't had as an aggressive of a move, but it has had a nice little move from 006 up to about 2 cents, pulled back, and it's starting to find support off of 009. MJNA, this thing has been a beast, ran from 4 cents up to 27 cents, pulled back, and it's starting to bounce here. So we started to see the volume come back into these plays at the end of September, beginning of October, and they really ramped up into the election. We had a bunch of states voting on them this week with the election, and a bunch of them passed. California passed for recreational. Massachusetts passed for recreational use of marijuana. So a bunch of states passed for not only recreational but medicinal. And once we got that electoral vote, we saw the consolidation. We saw a little bit of a sell-off. And actually leading up into that, some of these plays started pulling back off of their highs. So look at MJNA, for example. Had this monster move up and pulled back, consolidated, and started to bounce here on Friday. So we want to see MJNA hold higher lows off of this 7-cent support range. And if it could stay above the 50-day moving average here at 8 cents, that's going to be a good sign moving forward. So we like to look at these moving averages as key levels of support. We also like to look at prior resistance levels as key levels of support. So recently we had some resistance right here at 8 cents and 9 cents. So we want to see 8 and 9 cents hold as support going forward. We like to see previous resistance hold as future support. So that's what we're going to look for on MJNA. As for FOAT, this is probably the least attractive chart out of these 5 tickers that I'm going to present to you today. Just hasn't had that monster move like some of these other cannabis plays. It has traded some good volume though, and that's one of the key indicators that we like to look at. So if FOAT can get back above the 50-day moving average and start to build higher lows of support, so we want to see the support hold at 009 or better, then we'll continue to be interested in PHOT. Let's move on to CBIS. Now this one has had an aggressive move, all the way trading at a penny range back in September, even might have been sub-penny, just under a penny here. Middle of September, had this monster stair step up to 7.5 cents, consolidated, had a nice bounce right there, right around 3.5 cents, and started to bounce again on Friday. Notice this one is holding up above the 50-day moving average, and we want to see a continuation of that. We want to see CBIS hold above that 032 on any more pullbacks going forward. But as you can see, had this massive rally, and it's holding over 50% of those gains. It's hanging in here. If you just do the math from a penny to 7.5 cents, you want to see it hold half of that move. That's known as the Fibonacci retrace. Fibonacci, just go to Investopedia and look that up. And the Fibonacci has 50% retrace rules. So if a stock pulls back 50% of its gain and holds above that 50% mark, then it's still considered bullish. So that's what we want to see here with CBIS. Let's move on to GRNH. Okay, so this one has had a more aggressive of a pullback. Had this nice move from the 4 or 5 cent range up to 16 cents, pulled all the way back to 6 cents, basically where it started from, and started to bounce here on Friday. Closed near the highs, closed around 8.5 cents. The high Friday was 0.88. So again, another one that we want to see it hold above the 200-day and the 50-day moving average. And as long as we see GRNH hold above these moving averages, we're going to like the look of this one going forward. Now let's take a look at NEWC, New Columbia Resources. Another monster move, trading at super sub penny. It was as low as like 002, 001 range. Made this massive move up to a nickel and then consolidated. And notice right here on Friday, we had a green candle and it held above these moving averages. So this is a good looking chart. What I like most about this chart is this 50-day moving average is starting to come up towards that 200-day moving average. And once the 50-day moving average passes that 200-day moving average, that's going to be known as a golden cross. And stocks tend to break out when we see that action. So we're going to definitely want to keep our eyes on NEWC moving forward. You know, guys, I could go on and on about these marijuana stocks, and I can show you probably, 10 or 20 charts of companies that are in the marijuana sector. I just wanted to do a brief video presentation today. I didn't want to go too long, and I didn't want to show you too many stocks. I just wanted to show you a handful of the ones that we really like and talk about the similarities and talk about what we want to see going forward. So going forward, we want to continue to see higher lows and higher highs on these plays. So as a stock comes down to find support, we want to look at these previous candles, and going forward, we want to see the candles start to stack up and build higher lows. And that's going to be a bullish sign. So as always, folks, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to get more information at our blog, bluehorseshoestocks.com. We run one of the best newsletters, if not the best newsletter out there for stock information. Friday, we had a huge winner on an earnings beat from NVIDIA. That's ticker symbol NVDA. Let's go look at that real quick. So look at this massive move NVDA made on Friday. We signaled the $78 through $80 calls, I believe. I could be wrong, but I know the $80 calls made a 1,000% plus move. So those are the type of gains that we see on a week-to-week basis when we're finding these options plays. So not only are we the best when it comes to covering penny stocks, but we also like to mix it up for our members and give a nice diversified range of stock opportunities. And that's why we signaled options in NVIDIA. So we'll keep an eye on that one heading into this week. But if you were able to trade it on Friday, you really cleaned up with us. Congratulations, folks. Keep an eye on our newsletter. Every day we put it out pre-market. You can always visit our blog at bluehorseshoestocks.com to see the ideas that we're putting out on any given day. Thanks again, and make it a great week. Good luck out there, folks.